you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to go through and do. And for those that grew up like me or worse than me or even not as badly as me, we all have to go through that same process.
For real.
And that same process starts at finding that thing that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Finding that early as a child, whether you're a parent helping your child find that passion or a teacher find that passion, that's the most important thing about a child's development years.
And I think another thing, bro, that as I look, you know, in my background, and I'm 40, right? So
you got me by 10 years, a full decade.
Right. So, and that honestly went by kind of quick, you know what I mean? Like just the way things played out. But at the same time, it's an achievement. A lot of cats that I knew from the neighborhood around here growing up, you know the drill, right? Dead, in jail, overdosed, you know what I mean?
Or so damaged that they can't recover.
Yeah.
Because there is that point.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is. And it's not something that any of us want, and you don't celebrate that when you see that in someone. But at the end of the day, only we can pull ourselves up, right? Like a person can pour into you in the sense of motivating, seeking to motivate you, inspire you, you know, wish you well, pour all good energy into you. But if you can't get any of that into yourself from within, it's
bouncing off.
Yeah. And even though like we would love to get that, right? Like that doesn't really happen like that either from the outside. Usually it's the opposite.
The external forces, the overstimulating environment, right? And that's something that I've struggled with, and I can say over the last few days, ever since I've just had my put myself back together and just say, you know something, I sit here and I worry and I don't even know what I'm worrying about.
Right.
You know, and that's where a lot of people find themselves, because it comes to that saying. I think I told you this in one of our earlier meetings, but when a 100-year-old man had said the secret to life, or had some advice, right?
Yeah.
He said, tomorrow is the past, today is a gift, tomorrow is a mystery.
Right.
So short, sweet, simple, and he's 100 years old.
Right.
And when he was saying this, he started crying because he's 100 years old. I can't tell you when he adopted this idea, but he probably lived a majority of his life with it.
Right.
And that resonated with me. I was just like,
most people aren't even going to make it to 100 years old. You know what I mean? I had somebody, look, I'm at the job at the American Indian Center, right? Over on Cedar and Franklin. Yeah. There's a lady in there. She works. Her mom. She's probably like in her 50s. You know what I mean? Mid to late 50s. And her mom, she was like, "Oh, I gotta leave early today. There was supposed to be a meeting or something last week." And she was like, "Oh, I gotta leave early today. My mom is in the hospital." And I was like, "Oh snap! I didn't even know. Like she had a mother still." And then it was like, "Well, how old is she?" She was like, "Oh, she's in her 90s." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's what's up." You know what I mean? From school, what's going on here, right? And she's all worried, like, "Oh my God, is it gonna be okay if I leave the job early and this and that?" I'm like, man, listen. I don't know if it's just me, but my mentality about that whole world is like, I don't have those anxieties or whatever, right? Like if I gotta be at the hospital for my 90-year-old mother, I have no anxiety whatsoever as to if the manager is gonna approve my request or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it took time to get there, right? Because it's something that had to be overcome. But I'm not sure that people even realize that it is something that needs to be overcome. It's almost like, from what I see, a lot of people look at it like it's just normal. You know what I mean? To be
and the thing is like that comes with the comfortability from overcoming anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? Now, anxiety is one of those things where it affects not only your way of thinking, but it affects your stomach.
Right.
You know, I know some people whose anxiety is so bad that they literally make themselves sick.
Yeah.
Because you know, when your mind and your heart aren't in the same place, what do you think's gonna happen?
Misalignment, problems,
it's gonna,
confusion.
It's gonna work against you all day.
Right.
So that's why when people like, and I'm somebody who's had to deal with a lot of funerals. Okay.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of funerals, and you know, being somebody at that funeral while everybody's falling apart, standing around saying, "Do you need this done?